Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Akila Alia binti Abdul Rahim, DE190174. So today, my friends and I will present for exercise 4. So for introduction, low voltage switchboard to be configured for practical use as an integrated electrical training system for faculty engineering students. Each LV switchboard set includes the 600 ampere main switchboard 1 MSB incomer number 1 with capacitor bank panel, and then we also have 600 ampere main switchboard 2 MSB incomer number 2 with capacitor bank panel, and then we also have 100 ampere essential switchboard with auto change over contractor and local wheel, and lastly 100 ampere automatic main failure AMF board with local wheel. So actually the objective for this exercise 4 is to be familiar with low voltage switchboard LVSB system and then to demonstrate proficiency in LVSB operation. This exercise consists of 3 activities that we have need to done. So firstly, we need to do the procedure for turning on the MSB system that must be explained. Next, you also need to describe the procedure for busbar coupling of MSB1 and MSB2. Finally, we need to explain the procedure for restoring normal supply.
My name is Milana Barkis binti Hairi, metric number AE190058. I will present about how to turn on LVSB. Okay, first of all, we need to turn on the main supply on MSB1. Okay, you can see the indicator light for main supply was turned on. Okay, and then we need to connect the ACB, circuit breaker, into the bus bar by insert the charge handle into the slot and then into the clockwise position until the isolated position change into connect position. Okay, they have already changed into connect position. Then put it back into place. Okay, and then we need to charge the coil of ACB by pulling down the charge handle. Okay, after that, we need to until the discharge position change to charge position. Okay, then we need to turn on the ACB and make sure we have already stand on the rubber mat. Okay, turn on the ACB. Okay, the ACB is already on. Okay, then after have already on, the bus bar has already energized. We can give the consumer power supply, but before that, we need to turn on the power factor capacitor first. Okay. After that, we can turn on the MCCB, but make sure we have notified them so they have already ready to accept the power supply. Okay, then we can turn on. Okay, the power supply has already on. Okay, then we need to repeat the same procedure into MSB2. Okay, first of all, we need to switch on the main supply. Okay, you can see the indicator light is on, and then we need to connect the ACB into the bus bar. We insert the charge handle into the slot position and then clockwise until the isolated position change into connect position. Okay, then put it back to the charge handle. Okay, then after the ACB is connected, we need to charge the coil by pulling down the handle, charge handle. until the discharge position change into charge position. Okay, it's already changed to charge position. After that, we can turn on the ACB, but we need to make sure that we have turned on the rubber mat. Okay, then turn on the ACB. Okay, the ACB has turned on. Okay, after that, we can give the consumer supply. Okay, first we need to turn on the power factor capacitor first. Okay, the power factor capacitor has been turned on. Then we need to uh, on the MCCB. Okay, the MCCB has turned on. Okay, that's it. How to turn on the MSB.
Next, I will present for activity number 2, which is the procedure to coupling MSB1 and MSB2. Firstly, we need to turn off the load, power supply, power factor capacitor bank. And then we need to turn off the ACB by pushing the button at here. We also need to turn off the power supply from the isolate transformer at MCB1. And then we need to get the handle and take out the ACB. Remove ACB until it isolated position by turning the handle in anti-clockwise position. Then we need to remove the ACB from pedal and put the sign to notify the others. If some of MSB1 need to operate, so we can take supply from MSB2. So for coupling purpose, we need to take out the key and push it to the isolate MSB1, and another key we need to put at MSB2. And then, so the both MSB are ready to turn on. Since MSB2 is feed load MSB1, so we need to turn on the nearest isolator first. So we need to turn on the MSB2 first and then MSB1. To monitor the bus bar supply, bus bar MSB1 already energized and ready to supply to the consumer. So, and then we need to monitor the bus bar. So, as we can see, the light is already open. So, that means the bus bar MSB1 is already energized and ready to supply to the consumer. And then we need to turn on the power factor capacitor bank and all the load. Lastly, the power load at MSB2 and MSB1 is supplied by incoming MSB2. And lastly, we can proceed to the maintenance. They're all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aziata binti Muhammad Kamal. My metric number is DE100154. For this lab, which is LVSB system and operation, I will explain for the normal supply restore. Before we start, this is the LVSB, which is the red board. Here is the MSB1. The yellow box is MSB2, and between it we have EMF. So for normal supply restore, first step we need to inform all the consumer that use feeder MSB1 before we do the supply changing, before we start do the normal supply restore. So this is the consumer at here, which is the load. Next, for the second step, once all is ready, at MSB1, which is at here, we need to turn off the load at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and also after that we need to off the power factor capacitor bank. Now is step number 3, which is next we close all the MCCB and also power factor capacitor bank, and current status should be checked, and it should be has no current at the metering and also the main supply. It just has a current, so that the LED will on at the bus bar supply only. But at the metering and also the main supply, there are no current. So for step number 4, after we do that, the state of the selector switch on the insulator at MSB1, which is at here, has been, we changed it to the on position. After that, we check the light on the supply bar, which is at here. Before this, we know the bus bar supply are in on condition. The light is on condition, but after we on the insulator, so the LED will be turned off. Now on MSB number 2, okay, for the step number 5, at the MSB number 2, we select the insulator to on state. After that, we remove the interlock key at here into the MSB1, which is at MSB1. We have the place to the interlock key, which is at here. Okay, here, so we put the key that has been removed at MSB2 insulator, we put at the place at number 3, and also the MSB1, the insulator at MSB1, we remove the interlock key and put at the number 1 at the key place at here. Okay, as we can see, here is the MSB1. We remove the key and also we put at the number 1, at the place of the number 1. And also, we remove at the place number 2, the key place at number 2, we have ACB interlock key. So we remove the ACB interlock key. So at the place of the interlock key, we have just only 2 key, which is this is interlock key of MSB1 and also this is the MSB2. Now for the step number 6 is after we done do the maintenance of a circuit breaker at MSB1, we rack in into the compartment. After that, the key that have been removed from the top of it, which is the place key number 2, which is before this I said it for the air circuit breaker. So we plug in into the air circuit breaker at the slot of key. After that, the key has been turned to clockwise, counterclockwise, which is at here to here. Okay, after that, until we turn it until the indicator shown at unclock at the indicator at here, which is, as we can see, this is unlocked, which is when it unlocked, the ACB is isolated state. So step number 7 is to give the supply to the MSB1. So we turn on the insulator at here. After that, we can see the indicator at here. Before, for the indicator lamp, the main supply before are at the off state, but the LED at the main supply after we turn the insulator, the LED are at the on state. Same goes to the metering. Before is at off state, but after we supply the power into the MSB1, so the metering has at on state. Now is step number 8, which is we want to write in the S circuit breaker, which is first step is we need to find the handle. The handle is basically in the compartment. So after that, we plug in into the slot of handle. After that, turn it into the clockwise until the indicator shown as connect. And after that, the handle is stored in the original place. Now is we want to charge the circuit breaker. Okay, first at the normal state here, which is now the state of circuit breaker is discharge state. So we need to charge by pulling the handle up and down repeatedly. Okay, until the indicator of the circuit breaker change from the discharge, which is here is discharge, but now after we pull up and down, so the indicator will change to charge, which is with the yellow indicator. For next step, which is step number 10, after we get all the light at the indicator is function and also the voltage are okay and the current are okay at the stable condition, so we will turn on the power factor capacitor bank, and also we will turn on the MCCB back to the normal, so the consumer can get the voltage. So step 11, which is after all load has been turned on, the current, voltage, frequency, and also the power factor must be checked at here. So we will check all the parameter, and if okay, we will give some time to our system get stabilized and the data of the voltage, current, and so on will be recorded into the logbook. So after that, once the system is stable, all the safety sign will be collected, such as this one. So we will collect all the safety signers. And last but not least, once everything is safe, the system is normalized, we need to cancel the permit to work that have been done.